Hello everybody, this will be my personal story on self-injury. First off, I want to apologize for the bad video camera quality, and if it lags or jumps, but it came with the computer. It was a very cheap computer I managed to get with scholarship money for college. I can't afford to buy a better webcam at this point. I have better priorities. So, also excuse me if you see me doing blah and kind of ranting about, because this is my first time I've actually shared my story with anybody, and I wasn't exactly sure if I wanted to show my face or not, but I don't have the proper computer programs to just talk and put a picture up. Yeah, because whenever I try using Movie Maker or something, it freezes on me, and I'm like, or it cuts me off, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just record myself. Sorry if this also seems rushed. My parents currently aren't. Yeah, I still live with my parents because I have no money. Ooh, yay for the economy. My parents aren't home right now. If they come home, I'm gonna cut this off because I really don't want them knowing the details. Um, okay. So I first started cutting when I was about 13, almost 14. I first learned it from a teacher at my school. Actually, he came up to me and he's like, "Hey, is your friend hurting herself? She seems really kind of depressed lately." Like, no. He's like, are you sure she's not cutting herself with anything? Like, not that I'm aware of. So then I had to go talk to her. I'm like, hey, so-and-so came up to me asking if you were hurting yourself, are you? She's like, well, not really, no. But what she ended up doing was, you know how with the mechanical pencil, she kept tracing it across her arm in different patterns, just enough to leave like a tiny little scratch, but not a mark. You know how you get when you use a pencil, it's a tiny little mark that goes away in like a couple hours. She said, well, it helps me because then I get to draw on stuff on my skin and not leave any marks, so no one will be the wiser. I'm like, okay. So after that, my curiosity was piqued. I'm like, okay, what exactly is cutting yourself? What's the whole detail? And since I went to a technology-oriented school, next chance I got, I went on one of the computers. I started doing research. I learned what cutting was, how to do it, what kind of tools you should use. Which after you start cutting, you really don't need that kind of information. You find out what you can use quite easily. So after I learned about that, I didn't start cutting quite yet. It didn't happen until later when a guy I liked actually dumped me just because I wasn't popular at school or anything. I was kind of like the outcast. So it's like, no, I don't want to be with you. You're the outcast. No one wants you. So that set it off. That's when I first cut myself. It really hurt. It really, really did. But I didn't think I was going to do it again. But surprisingly enough, after that, I started wanting to do it more whenever anything happened. I wasn't the most popular kid in school, obviously. I got bullied on by nearly everyone. I did have a couple friends, but they didn't hang out with me all too much, so they didn't see the full extent of the bullying. Which is kind of glad I didn't want them to know anyway. So I was starting to cut more frequently. At first, they were light cuts, and I made it look like it was my cat scratching me. Typical excuse. No, I was just cutting the cat, not just cutting the cat. Whoa, sorry, nervous. No, I was just, my parents saw the cuts, and I'm like, no, I was just playing with the cat. You know how she is. She has her sharp claws. It's just stuff like that. So I don't think my parents actually took any second thought to it, even though they were appearing up really often. But it's because I always had the cat in my room. So I kind of was able to use that for an excuse for a while. Then the cuts started getting worse when a couple years later, in 9th grade, this new girl came to my school. The school I went to was a 7th through 12th grade school. So, this girl came. We became friends. She showed me her cuts. She had actually carved her brother's name into her leg because he had recently passed away. So she did that, and then we started having competitions. We'd come to school the next day, showing off our cuts, who did the worst cut, who did the most. We were actually quite proud of ourselves, and so we didn't really attempt to hide it. It's kind of stupid on our end. Eventually, someone told the principal. They had a meeting with me, they had a meeting with her, then they called in our parents. And then since she was in a foster home of some sort, she ended up getting sent away. And then all of her friends blamed me for getting her sent away. Like, oh, it was all your fault. You're stupid. So the bullying got worse. So I started cutting more, deeper. I started craving it more. So I got sent through therapy, but they weren't really of help since I didn't want to talk. Because I was there because my parents forced me. I didn't want to be there at all. So what they ended up doing was put me on antidepressants, and then whenever I had to go in for my therapy, they would put a board game out on the table and we just play the game for the whole hour I was supposed to meet with them. We had tons of help. Woohoo. So that went on for a while. My cutting got worse. I ended up getting scars. I have scars on my thighs, my wrists, my arm. Which was kind of hard. It was really hard to hide it all because I started playing soccer, and with having to wear shorts and the t-shirt, it was really hard to start hiding them. So I had to cut back a little bit so no one would find out what I was doing. But it all became too much, and I'm not proud of this. But what I started doing was cutting the one place no one would be able to see. That would be my chest. So I have scars on them, unfortunately, and so I'm not very comfortable showing off my body at all to anyone, just because I don't want them. It's just not pretty. So eventually I managed to convince my mom I was doing better, even though I wasn't. So she took me off the antidepressants. Tell you what, it was hell getting off of them. They're really addicting. I don't even remember most of it. I don't. But Mom would be like, no, you just come out to the couch and curl up against me and just cry. But I don't remember any of it. It was horrible. I still do cut to this day. I'm 21 now, so it's been 7 years. I just don't do it as much because I'm starting to get more comfortable enough to wear my tank tops out in public. So I try not to cut on my arms. I'm quite surprised. I have never gotten any. No one's ever come up to me and talked to me about them. I've gotten quite a few looks, of course, because my scars they're all even and lined up, so it's obviously not from an accident. They're all pretty, I guess you could call them. So I'm really quite surprised that no one's come up to me yet. Yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, it's fun. So that's my story for now. I'll leave it out on that note. If there's anything I didn't go over in enough detail, anything else you want to know about, anything, leave them in the comments, and then I will make a video response when I can, answering everything, going into more detail about everything. So, thank you for watching. This was very hard for me to share, and I'm actually really worried and self-conscious about this, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry this wasn't the perfect video. I blabbered on. Wow. My brain's like fried because I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually sharing this with people. It's kind of freaking me out. So, as I said, leave comments. If anyone leaves any negative comments like trolling, saying cutters are stupid and stuff, I'm just not going to allow them to be posted. I'm just not going to do that. I'm trying to make this kind of a positive video showing my own view so people can learn from it, so to know they're not alone. Oh, I know, that's what else I can cover in my next video. Like how because I did stop for a little while, for like 2 years. I just recently slipped up. I think I just contradicted myself earlier. Sorry. I'm a little frazzled. But I did stop for a little while. I'll probably share my own personal tips on how I stopped later in my next video. And just other stuff you can do to help, and other random stuff you want me to go over. So, thank you for watching. I will see you all later.